themselves in supporting social and economic development were conferred with the prestigious national honors by President Muhammadu Buhari. The honors include the award of the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, GCFR, that of the Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, CFR, Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON, Officer of the Order of the Federal Republic, OFR, Officer of the Order of the Niger, OON, Member of the Order of the Federal Republic, MFR, Member of the Order of the Niger, MON, Federal Republic Medal 1, FRM 1, and Federal Republic Medal 2, FRM 2. Amongst the awardees are 4 journalists and 7 foreign nationals.
That's an important part of our responsibility as students. We must always endeavor to do our best for our country. We will continue to root out all forms of banditry, criminality, terrorism, and insurgency in the land. As I stated earlier in my independence address to the nation, I will hand over a Nigeria which is free from insecurity to the next generation of leaders.
President Buhari says the honor is an opportunity to recognize persons who demonstrate patriotism. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Association of Women Journalists, NAWOJ, wishes to congratulate 4 distinguished journalists on the conferment of the national awards and wish them higher and greater heights in the future endeavors. The conferment of national award by the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, on the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the President and former President of the Nigerian Guild of Editors, Mr. Femi Adesina, and the immediate past Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, and seasoned Administrator, Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, with the award of the Officer of the Order of the Niger, OON, and the award of the Member of the Federal Republic, MFR, on the National President, Nigeria Union of Journalists, Mr. Chris Isiguzo, the award of the Member of the Order of Niger, MON, on the former President of the Nigerian Guild of Editors, a communications strategist, Mr. Hadilu Ibrahim NTA, deserves commendation and praise. The President, Nawaj Ladibala, commends President Muhammadu Buhari for the kind gesture accorded to the 437 Nigerians who have rendered meritorious service towards the growth and development of the country. Meanwhile, Nigeria is currently stepping up efforts at ending criminality in the Gulf of Guinea, and as part of that effort, the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit is monitoring and working against illegal exploit of the coastal environment for money laundering purposes. Correspondent Usman Aliu reports.
Across West Africa, Nigeria apparently has the highest assets in dealing with the variability of maritime criminality. Be it the illegal oil business or foreigners fishing without requisite licenses as well as drug trafficking. However, the expansive nature and structure of maritime criminality makes effective collaboration between nations quite necessary. That is why the SWAMS project is bringing together here in Abuja technocrats to validate some recent findings and develop a comprehensive strategy in addressing criminal activities on the coast of West Africa.
Countries, the coastal countries of the ECOWAS region. Some of them are much more dependent on this sort of external support than a powerful nation like Nigeria. But in the name of equity, everybody is a beneficiary.
Take, for example, Guinea-Bissau have about 88 islands, and most of those islands are uninhabited. And there is hue and cry about how criminals are probably misusing those islands, and the country has got no capacity to be able to deal with those things.
And as far, the Intergovernmental Group Against Money Laundering in West Africa, GIABA, believes that Nigeria must spearhead the process of working with other countries in the region to spare the sub-region the risk of being overwhelmed with maritime criminality. Usman Aliu, NTA News.
And still on the matter, the end of illegal bunkering and oil theft is in sight following positive results from the federal government's sustainable measures. 7 suspects, all Nigerians, have been apprehended along the Warri River under this onslaught. Lydia Sampson reports.
On board this vessel is about 600 cubic meters of illegally loaded crude oil. I don't know if you can see the fire from here, but that vessel there was caught in the act, actually loading Nigerian crude oil meant to be diverted to Ghana. Though the captain and suspect are telling a different story, Captain Waride Inyeswo, a maritime intelligence expert, said they were caught in the act.
It's among the list of vessels being monitored constantly, and it's been evading authorities for quite a while now, and its route is very funny. It's been frequenting the Niger Delta and at the same time carrying crude illegally to Ghana, precisely Tema.
For the Group General Manager Napins Balawunti, the collaboration with the community on security is yielding immeasurable results.
One of the contractors and teacher security service is the one that makes this apprehension, because the whole architecture is anchored around detection, deterrence, response, and recovery. I think there's no doubt that we have made significant success in terms of detection, in terms of deterrence, and in terms of response. What is now left is for Nigerians to start witnessing the recovery journey. And I think before the end of the month, you will see the benefit of all the architecture that has been put in place. We have anticipated that this architecture will start yielding results in 90 days, but what we are seeing is that we will start seeing in about 60 days.
In line with the rules of engagement, the crude and vessel were destroyed in a blaze. From Warri, Delta State, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And to destruction of another kind, and in trying to curb that destruction, the Chairman, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Brigadier General Muhammad Buba Marwa, is soliciting the support of the alumni of the Nigerian military school Zaria in the ongoing drive to eradicate illicit drugs in Nigeria. This was at an event organized by the NMS Set 96 Ex-Boys Foundation in commemoration of their 20 years reunion, where Marwa noted that 15 million Nigerians are involved in using illicit drugs, largely responsible for the increase in crime rate.
All Nigerians, ex-boys inclusive, to stand up, and they are standing up. They are already doing very, very well, and I'm only encouraging them to do even more to fight, especially the demand for drugs through prevention and treatment activities, to aspirants to stand up and make sure the children are guided aright.
The national president of the NMS Ex-Boys Association, Femi Ikuponi, announced the intention of the alumni to participate in one of the exercises of the NDLEA.
To foster the brotherhood amongst us, and also to foster the unity of Nigeria. That is to say, me as a Yoruba man, it doesn't matter where I am. I have an Hausa brother, I have an Igbo brother, and it doesn't matter the origin or where he's from. I see him as one, just the way, just what Nigeria is trying to portray. To say, irrespective of where from, irrespective of our background, it's one Nigeria, one country.
The NMS Ex-Boys were at an orphanage to donate food and non-food items as part of their humanitarian activities. The headquarters of Sector 2 Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hatnkai has handed over 98 blocks of cannabis sativa intercepted by its troops along Gaydam axis to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Yobe Command. This was at a brief event held at the headquarters of the sector in Damatu. Adam Yusuf was there for NTA News.
The illicit substances were intercepted at a Bulagoni village in a Golf Saloon car by troops of 159 Battalion on routine patrol, while handing over the drugs to officials of the NDLEA Yobe State Command. The sector commander, Sector 2 Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hatnkai, Major General Koko Isoni, represented, stated that the banned substances were suspectedly being conveyed to terrorist enclaves between Nigeria and Niger Republic international borders.
It was abandoned by the courier, and he abandoned his vehicle, and that was when he saw the patrol team. He just left the vehicle and ran away and abandoned the parcel. So we are officially handing over the parcel to
The feat further demonstrates the existing synergy between security agencies in the fight against insurgency and other crimes in the sector's area of operation. In Damaturu, Adam Yusuf, NTA News.
And a health alert for Nigerians as the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control (NAFDAC) has warned against the use of promethazine oral solution and Cofexmalin baby cough syrup, which have been proven to be unsafe for consumption. The advice has become necessary following the death of about 66 children in the Gambia after the use of 4 substandard cough syrups. Hamman Jabani reports.
These suspected medical products are promethazine oral solution, Cofexmalin baby cough syrup, Markov baby cough syrup, and Magri N cold syrup.
The product can cause abdominal pain, vomiting, diarrhea, inability to pass urine, headache, altered mental state, and acute kidney injury, which may lead to death. The NAFDAC boss, Professor Mojisola Adeye, said the manufacturer of this product is Maritime Pharmaceutical Limited, India, and to date, the manufacturer has not provided guarantee to the World Health Organization on the safety and quality of the product. She said the product authenticity and physical condition should be carefully checked.
We have put appropriate measures in place to prevent entry of these spurious products from the various ports of entry and have activated our internal surveillance mechanisms to mop up these products from the supply chain pipeline.
The Director General is also calling on the attention of the general public to the activities of an impersonator soliciting money for employment and other favors.
This is a security breach. NAFDAC and the Director General will never request for gratification to carry out its mandate.
She said NAFDAC will continue to do everything possible to safeguard Nigerians from substandard products and wholesome foods. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
Thank you, Haman. This is nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Our first stop is Lagos, where Adiola is standing by. Hello, Adiola.
Thank you, Najatu. In the last 10 years, campaigns against gender-based challenges have gathered momentum using the annual celebration of International Day of the Girl Child as a platform to drive key agenda. The theme for this year's celebration, Our Time is Now, Our Right, Our Future, highlights their challenges to education, physical and mental wellness, as well as the protection needed for a life without violence. Ruth Arias Samuel completes the report.
Young and adolescent girls constitute a significant demography on whose frail shoulders the future of the world is built. The annual celebration of International Day of the Girl Child is therefore an acknowledgement of their importance, power, and potential. While seeking to eliminate many and varied gender-based challenges including child marriages, poor learning opportunities, violence, and discrimination stacked against them, the day also seeks to encourage opening of more opportunities for the girl child.
To champion the cause of the female child, of the girl child, and just make things better for her. Counseling is one of it, mentoring is one of it.
There is always room for improvement in everything. So girls themselves will also learn to speak out and not to keep silent.
Such opportunities as captured by the focus of 2022 celebration includes having a great leverage in a digital generation. Over 600 million adolescent girls have shown time and time again that given the skills and the opportunities, they can be the change makers driving progress in their communities.
Everybody thinks that girls don't used to go to school. I'm not supposed to go to school. We just go straight to the kitchen.
Being a woman, you have to be proud of yourself. You need to learn how to improvise.
Let's start enabling our females to showcase their talents.
One of the strategies that we are pursuing is to make education worth their while by exposing them to various courses as well. If you are not into academics, then you can do other things.
Although girls are shattering the glass ceilings, more voices are calling on governments, policymakers, and the general public to create more opportunities for them to make their strength count and have their voices heard on the global stage. In Lagos, Bruce Ariel Samuel, NTA News.
With about 72,000 deaths and over 100,000 new cases annually, the prevalent rate of this disease among Nigerians have become a source of worry. Samuel Johnson reports that early detection of cancer is recommended to stem the tide.
Cancer, which occurs when cells divide uncontrollably and spread to surrounding tissues, though curable, has become a major cause of death. The Population-Based Cancer Registry in Ibadan, Oyo State, and the Abuja Population-Based Cancer Registry are two major centers where records of cancer patients in Nigeria are obtainable.
There is more awareness, and there is now more avenue to screen and to make diagnosis for these cancers.
Diagnosis and treatment, according to experts, are available if only patients present early.
The earlier you detect a cancer, the better is the management. If you discover a lump in the breast, you have to try and present to the hospital early.
The cost of treatment is what these medical doctors believe should be accommodated in the National Health Insurance Scheme, while family and friends should assist in reducing the trauma of diagnosis.
Family support is very, very vital in the management of patients with breast cancer, because once they know that they have the support of their family, they feel relieved, and it's very important to show them love.
They also warned that men are at risk more than women. Cancer, they insist, is curable. Early screening, diagnosis, and treatment are the recipe. In Lagos, Samuel Johnson, NTA News.
And those are the stories from Lagos, but do not forget that you can still follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on the screen for updates. The news will continue with Najatu. We're back to Abuja.
Nigerians, elections are here again. Let us shun violence. Let us play the game according to the rules. Do not be a thug. Say no to violence. Let's rise and defeat violence, crime, and sabotage against the peace of our nation. Nigeria is the only country we have. We must do everything to keep it united. We must avoid any act that promotes hate and disintegration. Say no to separatist movement, terrorism, fake news, hate speech, religious bigotry, and any act that tends to divide us as a nation. Watch out for strange gatherings and suspicious movements. Restrict access to sensitive documents and data, the disclosure of which may damage national security. Educate your staff and family, particularly on measures to safeguard information and report security breaches. Apply relevant legal security guidelines to protect yourself and your neighbors. Due to misinformation and wrong choices, some idle persons resort to vices in their greed to get rich quick. They resort to kidnapping, killings for rituals, and other heinous crimes. Avoid wrong use of the social media. Before you broadcast that false message, think twice. Ask whether it will promote peace or violence. For safety at home, still be security conscious. Educate your household on safety tips. Report all suspicious movements and persons to the security agencies nearest to you. Be a good citizen. Be patriotic. To pass security information, please call 0813-222-2105, 0915-339-1309, 0908-837-3514, or send a mail to dsspr@dss.com.
Friday, November 11, 2022. History will be made. in the maiden edition of the Nigerian Marketing Awards.
Are you ready? It's happening live at the prestigious Eco Convention Center, Lagos, from 6 p.m. on.
It's a night where excellence and hard work will be rewarded in grand style. Be a part of this amazement.
Possible. Our correspondent on NTA Fine-Face demonstrated this while traveling across the bridge from Nasarawa to Benue State.
Flood is ravaging several parts of Nigeria, inundating several road infrastructure, especially that of the Lokoja Cotton Karifi Abuja road corridor. While movement has become near impossible in that axis of the country, there is a new bride in town for motorists, and that is this Loko Oweto Bridge, which many consider as the toast of the time for people that want to move from the southern part of the country to the northern part of Nigeria.
It's a solid bridge. The Oweto Bridge is a solid bridge. Cannot compare any other bridge to this Oweto Bridge as far as I'm concerned.
Loko Oweto Bridge is a Sukuk-funded project, bringing immeasurable relief to many who have depended on cumbersome routes, moving from one region of the country to another, especially on the southeast north central corridor.
Business will be quicker than before. So, and you can come back, you can apply this road now 2 to 3 times a day if you want to make it from Otiko to Abuja. You can make it because the road is okay compared to the other road.
Measuring 1.835 kilometers in length, the 9 meters wide dual carriage bridge is an imposing road infrastructure bearing tons of motorized hope for Nigerians every day.
Like if you see the Oweto Bridge is not comparable to other bridge, except whoever that gone to Lagos will now say this bridge is comparable to Third Mainland Bridge.
It is accompanied by 8.4 kilometers approach on the Loko and Oweto ends, helping to cut travel time and reduce the cost of commuting.
The construction of Loko Oweto Bridge, together with our 74 kilometer, has helped Nigeria tremendously, because if you look at it in the sense that before the construction of this bridge, if you are going to the east, you have to pass through either Makodi or Kogi.
Compared to this one, this one is just about 4 hours. When we are passing Makodi to Latvia to Road, it takes us almost 7 hours.
After 1 decade of waiting, this bridge, 100% complete, now awaits similar success on the full stretch to Nasarawa on NTA Fine-Face. NTA News.
Massive flood has displaced hundreds of residents from their homes in more than 17 communities of Ahuada West local government area of Rivers State. Diane Lolo visited the communities and reports that the only access road to these communities is fast disappearing under the flood. The report.
The Nene Kingdom in Ahuada West local government area shares the coastline of Orashi River, which is a tributary of River Niger. These communities are currently covered with floodwater from the river, causing untold hardship to the people. Communities like Okaki, Okparaki, Ikodi, Kumisha, Govia, and Akebolobo are among the frontline affected areas, while land in Indama, Akinima, Akioniso, and the Jonkrama villages are already underwater.
Since the morning I never chop, make una spend money while I want to buy fish, 1,000. I don't find fish in my village, reach here, no fish, no chop. Water don't carry the village. Hey, make I die.
Flood has taken everything that we have, both our crops, even our houses. We don't have house to enter, we don't have anywhere to go.
People are forcefully harvesting their cassavas, yam, and every other farm produce.
Last year, the flood was not much like this, so people were farming everywhere. Farm.
but this year the flood has destroyed all the farms.
Incidentally, there are no higher grounds or places for refuge as schools, churches in the area are all submerged and no longer functioning. The flood has affected transportation as the only means of accessing their homes is through speedboat and canoes because a part of the access road to the communities have been taken over by the flood. Some parts of the road that seem to be only high ground where water is still at ankle level, residents of the area are the only safe point.
We seem to have missed our correspondent's piece to come there. Let's now join Jenny in Port Harcourt for more from that zone.
Najatu, and we're still talking flood. The much anticipated 2022 flood disaster is sweeping across communities in Orashi region of Rivers State, with many victims in Ogba, Mbema, Ndoni local government areas sacked from their homes. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
Many families in Ndoni and Omoko are currently homeless as family houses, churches, schools and farms are not spared. The flood disaster forced many of the residents to embark on early harvest of their farm produce. This early harvest before maturity of crops, some noted, portends possible food crisis if the flood continues to spread across more communities.
All the places we are camping, we don't even have food again. They are stronger now. Of nowhere, all our food is flooded and are flooded inside the water.
Residents who are currently displaced shared their sad experience amidst concerns for possible health emergencies.
Mosquito will kill us. No food. Our food is not food. We live inside. When the government go and alleviate our poverty, our houses are submerged by the flood.
Victims of the flood disaster are calling for government intervention to relieve them of the current burden. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Now away from the natural disaster, to ensure effective mobilization of the electorate from the grassroots, the All Progressives Congress Campaign Group, known as APC G3, has inaugurated officers from the South region in Calabar to carry out the mandate of mobilizing people for a successful campaign. Erica Ivy reports that the exercise is to ensure all APC candidates are elected in 2023 general elections.
In a resolve to gain victory at the poll in 2023 general elections, the National Coordinator APC Grassroots Governance Campaign Group, APC G3, Amechi Chuksonyama, charged the various state coordinators in the South Zone to show high level of commitment for the success of the party.
We intend to take the message of our party, the APC, we intend to take the message of Tinubu Shetima to the people in the grassroots to tell them the benefits of voting for our party in the election.
A member of the Board of Trustees in the group, Professor Yoetungyong, called on members of Tinubu Shetima Campaign Group to preach the message of people-oriented democracy to enhance victory for the All Progressive Congress, which will attract mass transformation and development in the country.
A grassroots group, and the focus is in mobilizing the masses at the lowest level and bringing them into the system. That's where the votes come from.
High point of the occasion was the inauguration of APC G3 coordinators and presentation of a letter to a member board of trustee in Calabar. Erica Ivy, NTA News.
And that's the training report. Here is now back to Najatu in Abuja.
Thank you, Jenny. To nip conflict in the bud, the National Orientation Agency and its partners have put together a 3-day leadership course for experts in preventive diplomacy and conflict resolution in the country. Kenneth Nanin reports.
In 3 days, these personalities are expected to map the task of ensuring that conflicts do not mar the outcome of the 2023 general elections and daily societal activities, even though conflicts are part of human society. The task for these key players, however, is to ensure that conflicts are resolved or better nipped in the bud before it escalates.
Let us adopt valuism, and that is by way of placing value in the things we do, because this is common to us. And I think that, like has been propounded, is a higher state of capitalism where everybody feels a part of building community, where everybody feels a responsibility to it, and therefore there is not just ownership, but we place values in the things we see that is ours.
The National Orientation Agency and its partners believe, therefore, that relevant government machineries have been set in motion to achieve the desired goal. However, they insist it is everyone's business.
If peace management can occur at the family level, at the community level, there's a likelihood that it will not occur at the state level. So it's about the management of peace in our country.
I want to assure you and other Nigerians of the commitment of the National Orientation Agency to peace, unity and progress of our beloved country, Nigeria.
The leadership course, which commenced in 2019, has graduated over 270 participants, and this is the 4th in the series. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Meanwhile, experts on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria have commended the early presentation of the 2023 appropriation bill by President Muhammadu Buhari, saying it will facilitate planning for the public and private sectors, although some issues were raised over the proposed budget deficit, among others. Ekimini Williams reports.
In part 2 of Good Morning Nigeria's discussion on the 20.5 trillion naira 2023 appropriation bill, the budget assumptions, as well as some of the principles and thrusts of the budget, came up for critical review. Spokesperson of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, spoke extensively on what the legislature will be looking at in debating the bill, including the provisions for waivers.
Some are relevant, some are totally irrelevant. You cannot be struggling with an economy that has this huge debt profile, and you are granting exemptions and waivers unnecessarily. So our Copic look is going to be on that. Our spectacle, we're going to be putting it on, focusing it on that, and who deserve this exemption. And we've also discovered that there is no common electronic platform, used by the NDAs, used by the Office of the Accountant General, and also the Fiscal Responsibility Commission. They're reconciling remittances around all these agencies.
The National Assembly does not have the capacity in terms of manpower to assess projects and cost projects. But how can they not be actually in the name of what we call constituency projects, in certain sums?
The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria asked that special forex allocations be considered for the manufacturing sector to drive production.
We bring in our repatriated profit in dollars, and we are paid 430 something, highest about 480. Whereas when we want to buy forex, we go to the bank, we don't get it. We have to go to the parallel market and we source it at 700. So, and we need this to bring in raw materials that are not available locally. So I think there should be a deliberate attempt by government to prioritize this allocation to the productive sectors.
Economic experts described the budget as good, but stressed the need for efficiency in government spending and value addition, as well as opportunities for employment creation.
The educational sector, we have 20 million children on the streets according to UNESCO. For me, I see an opportunity teaching jobs. I see opportunity for construction of classrooms en masse in this country. I see opportunity for a social sector, a social services sector.
The National Assembly will be holding sessions with MDAs for budget defense, as well as conduct public hearings as part of the procedure for passage of the appropriation bill. In Abuja, Ekemini Williams, NTA News.
This one is for all the tech geeks. Nigeria's technological innovations are making waves on the international scene in a good way, as a startup has signed a partnership deal of $10 million at the ongoing Gulf Information Technology Exhibition GITEX. ICT correspondent Chimdima Ndubisi, who is attending GITEX at the Dubai World Trade Center, has the details.
It's a convergence of innovative technologies, enterprises, and markets at the 42nd edition of the Gulf Information Technology Exhibition GITEX Global in Dubai. An exhibition that provides a platform for innovators to showcase solutions in health, education, agriculture, security, entertainment, you name it. More than 5,000 organizations and 90 countries are participating. Nigeria is not a spectator here, but with a spectacular display of 33 startups sponsored by Nigerian government. Private exhibitors are also in the show.
African humanoid, talking about artificial intelligence, and 4 startups at semi-finals at the ongoing GITEX Global. This is the level Nigeria has come.
Just the first day of this exhibition.
First African humanoid robots, which is the first in Africa, and it is going to be speaking up to 15 languages.
Now everybody knows that Nigerian tech ecosystem is the strongest in Africa, and also globally we are catching up. Unicorn is a big startup that is valued approximately a minimum of $1 billion USD. Out of 7 in Africa, 5 of them originated from Nigeria. We have so many young innovators that are making us proud, and most of them you will discover the total number of citizens being employed. You'll see it's approximately around 150 to 200 per startup.
The focus this year is on emerging trends in artificial intelligence and metaverse. From the Dubai World Trade Center in United Arab Emirates, Chimdima Ndubisi, NTA News.
Alright, Chimdima will be expecting a couple of robots here at NTA. Now, the Nigerian Communications Commission has asked the Nigerian Computer Emergency Response Team established by the federal government to reduce the volume of future computer risk incidents by preparing, protecting and securing Nigerian cyberspace to forestall all forms of cyber attacks. In a statement, the Director, Public Affairs, Ruben Moka of the Commission, indicates that Blackbyte ransomware gang is using a new technique that researchers describe as bring your own vulnerable driver, which prevents multiple endpoint detection and response, an antivirus product NCC advisory team recommends. System administrators should protect against Blackbyte as well. Now let's join Suleiman Abdullahi Regachukun in Kaduna for more updates.
Najatu and a warm welcome. Practical sustainable development across the value chain of rice revolution are part of the hallmark of the Buhari administration that will be remembered for in many years to come. Yohannes Hassan in Kano reports that food security, employment generation and economic prosperity are part of the success story of a hitherto neglected sector.
Nigeria has in the past depended on importation of rice to meet the country's demand, thereby losing millions of dollars every year. The present administration came up with several programs and policies aimed at promoting the production of the staple food and creating jobs for the populace. For instance, the Anko Borrowers program has encouraged farmers to venture into rice cultivation, recording large yields to feed multi-billion naira rice mills. In Kano State, Rice Farmers Association sells out paddy to millers at a cheaper rate at the end of every season. The increase in cultivation of rice gives rise to proliferation of many factories which provide job opportunities for the teeming populace.
They returned their paddy for recovery purposes. As a result of that, that's why we invited the millers to come and purchase this paddy.
This has also promoted the consumption of homegrown rice used for feeding school children, a program initiated by the Buhari-led administration. An economic expert said the policy of border closure has no doubt had a multiplier effect on the Nigeria's economy.
Economy has been stimulated with this local rice production or Nigerian rice production. The farmers, in fact, with the number of rice mills we are seeing with various categories, small scale, medium scale, and large scale rice mills are even putting pressures on the rice farmers themselves. The demand is so high from the rice millers.
What is expected now is for more interventions and farmers' readiness to reciprocate government efforts. In Kano, Yohannes Hassan, NTA News.
And Zamfara State Government is partnering its Jigawa State counterparts to strengthen synergy in humanitarian support strategy, emergency preparedness and disaster mitigation in the two states. Muhammad Askari reports that this is the thrust of discussion when a delegation from Zamfara State led by the Commissioner for Humanitarian, Disaster Management and Social Development, Faika Ahmed, visit Dutse to broker the partnership. The report.
Jigawa and Zamfara states share many positive things in common. On a negative note, however, the two states have been confronted by humanitarian disaster. While Jigawa is recording the worst of flood disaster this year, Zamfara State, on the other hand, has been battling horrific humanitarian crisis triggered by banditry. Based on this situation, the two states have gathered knowledge and expertise on the ways to flatten the tide of the disaster in their separate domains. This may be the reason for partnership and study tour by the Zamfara delegation to create an avenue where methods, techniques and strategies will be shared and ideas cross-fertilized for the mutual benefits of the two states.
Have distributed a lot in regards to emergency services. We have given relief materials to over 200,000 beneficiaries. We have our data intact. We have also done a lot in regards to empowerment programs because we believe there is need for us to empower them. We believe that it's not just feeding them, but they should have something sustainable so that at least they can stand on their feet.
We have tried as much as possible to develop just looking at our position and looking at our position in terms of poverty, in terms of other territories. So the government has tried as much as possible to see that we have moved up to the 15 years. We have succeeded in doing that. And this was at the level of so many policies to produce that helps to grow our economy. That also to reduce the level of poverty in the state.
Jigawa and Zamfara humanitarian crises have drawn national and international attention. In Dutse, Muhammad Askira, NTA News.
Report Larry in our Ibadan Network Center is standing by for more reports after the break.
Yourself, it's life. Once you lose hope, you lose life. Once people get lifted to a certain level, they start feeling godlike. What would you attribute this backwardness in education to if they're not to date?
What's right is right, what's wrong is wrong.
And the program is reflection.
The Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Muhammad, welcomes President and heads of government, the UNESCO Director General, Ms. Audrey Azoula, and other UN officials, foreign ministers, ambassadors, international dignitaries, and members of the Federal Executive Council to the UNESCO Global Media and Information Literacy Week 2022 with the theme, Nurturing Trust, a Media and Information Literacy Imperative. Date, 24th to 31st October 2022 Opening session, 24th October 2022 at the Banquet Hall, Presidential Villa, Abuja. Time, 3 p.m. The other sessions of the Global Media and Information Literacy Week 2022 will take place at the Transco Hilton Hotel. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mrs. Lydia Shehu Jafia, MNI, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. Announcer.
A new edition of TV Guide is out, featuring an impeccable personality with purposeful leadership, Alhaji Mohammed Mitakobi, the Executive National President of Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria.
With 774 local governments, will be able to put all our structures in everywhere. I'll be able to bring the regions members together, reconcile them to come and work for the progress of the association.
Welcome to a world of fun and excitement as we also present an assemblage of professionals in the media space. Some compelling NTA programs, current trends in the fashion world, ICT, sports, entertainment, and lots more. Get a copy at the vendor near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Watching nationwide on the network service of the NTA, and welcome to Ibadan. To further enhance accurate data towards eradicating poverty in Nigeria, some enumerators that will carry out the Nigerian labor force survey have been deployed and are currently
to entrepreneurship for their financial independence in the disability community. The federal government, through the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and its development partners, are not relenting to make life more meaningful and comfortable for them.
This training is just a pilot phase with the intention of scaling it up to all things of the Federation. We are going to give out a grant of 100,000 and to each one of you.
The electricity trainings are not just trainings that we do on the surface. They are trainings that we do that are very intensive. And I know that you also went through this intensive training without favor. So it is my belief that very soon you're going to come forward to let me know how you're doing and how you're faring in your newfound trade.
Shower gels, hand and body creams, hand fans, and bathing soaps were some of the products produced by the beneficiaries. They, however, recommended of more persons with disabilities in public service. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Now to election matters. The Commissioner of Police Delta State, Ari Mohammed Ali has sounded a note of warning to all stakeholders ahead of the 2023 general elections to play by the rules or face the consequences of their actions. The Commissioner of Police was speaking in a one-day security summit on hitch-free 2023 general elections held at the office of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Delta State. Rosemary Omani reports.
The Security Summit was organized by the Nigeria Police Delta State Command in partnership with the INEC Transition Monitoring Group and Foundation for Human Environmental Rights Protection. It exposed the participants made up of political parties representatives, religious leaders, youths, and different groups to the various rules of the 2023 general elections and pointed out ways of ensuring free and credible elections.
If we must get it right, it behoves on all of us, the actors, to play and abide strictly by the rules of the game.
For 2019, 244,000 people are not committed by PDCs in Delta State.
Two resource persons spoke on different topics, all pointing towards achieving peace and love.
I believe that arising from this, they will go back and continue to have this conversation and continue to harmonize and continue to strategize.
With this new electoral act, the INEC are also monitoring the funding of political parties. Let's know where this money is coming from. Let's know where they're getting this money to give all this bribe.
The 2022 Electoral Act permits Nigerian police and other security agencies to provide security before and after the elections. In Asaba, I am Rosemary Omani, NTA News.
And stakeholders of the People's Democratic Party in the South-South region have resolved to speak in one voice ahead of the 2023 elections. Meeting in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, the stakeholders maintain that the party's presidential candidate is committed to reviving the nation's economy if elected. Clement Barikui reports.
The meeting brought together PDP leaders from the 6 states of the South-South geopolitical zone as they strategized for the 2023 elections. Director General of PDP Presidential Campaign 2023 and Governor of Sokoto State Aminu Tambuwa said the party is set for victory.
The Oshun election had proven that by the grace of God, PDP is the party that Nigerians are looking up to.
The host governor and chairman of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council, Udom Emmanuel, harps on the need for South-South leaders of the party to demonstrate unity of purpose and strength that will make a difference in revamping the nation's economy. PDP Vice Presidential Candidate Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, governors of Edo and Bayelsa states call for support and mobilization from the wards and units across the country for the party.
We need to strengthen ourselves, we need to work, we need to move on. In this zone, we have the skills, we have the knowledge to support one another. We have been showing working and will continue to show working.
The meeting was convened as part of activities to mark the party's presidential campaign flag-off in Uyo. Clement Barikui, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Coalition of Northern Youths has described the presidential candidate of the